But the question on everyone's mind, when will federal legislation finally catch up? Joining me now, Melanie Campbell, the president and CEO of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. She was also one of the 9 protesters arrested yesterday alongside Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. And also joining us, my pal, Angela Rye, political strategist and host of the amazing podcast. You guys should check it out, On One with Angela Rye. Great to see you both. Look, I think we're all very frustrated. Melanie, I'm going to start with you. The question I want to know, or an answer to, is what exactly did Vice President Kamala Harris say? What's the plan here?
First of all, I'm just tickled pink to be on with both of you all, and love both of you all so much, and thank you for your leadership and speaking truth to power. So start there. Well, the meeting really was like a culmination of the week that we had with this whole call to action, week of action, and with Vice President Harris, part of it was a listening and really hearing what we had to say and recommendations, really challenging them to really look creatively. You had people like Minyon Moore and Leah Daughtry who have worked in the White House to be able to talk about how you can utilize what you call a whole of government approach, if you will, like you've done with COVID or even ACA and other kinds of things. Use all of your tools in the toolbox. Bullet put, yes, but you can use the administration wherever that's feasible to do, and also continue to treat this as the state of emergency that it is. And that means you have to put it all out, utilize all various levels of the administration.
Can I ask you, Melanie, because I think the one thing people want to know is, did the word filibuster come up? Did you talk about Manchin? Did you talk about Kristen Sinema?
Well, I would say this, because we had 21 sisters, as well as Georgia, we covered a lot of ground, and we didn't spend a lot of time on the filibuster, but we did bring it up. We didn't solve the problem, obviously, but definitely understand that we have to, that it doesn't require having. I'm a little tired, ladies. I got arrested yesterday, so I'm a little worn, but it was really about looking.
All right, I think we're having some challenges with Melanie's feed. So, Angela, I'm going to turn to you here. Look, 90% of Black women voted for President Joe Biden. We are the Democrats' most loyal voting bloc. There's a long ongoing battle of voter suppression. Nothing is new. One thing that annoys me, I'm sure you'll agree, is when they say this is all based on the big lie. That is the big lie. Voter suppression has been an issue in our community since forever. We can't organize ourselves out of this. We have to legislate ourselves out of this. We can't wait for the courts to save us. What, as a political strategist, somebody who used to chair or used to be the executive director of Congressional Black Caucus, what's the solution? What's the path forward?
You know, Tiff, I wish it was that easy to just say, okay, here's the solution. But we have 2 major problems in front of us. One is the Shelby versus Holder decision in 2013, which, of course, gutted Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act, the one that John Lewis fought, protested for, and got beat as he crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge for, right? The next decision that hit us really hard just last month was Brnovich versus the DNC, which essentially guts Section 2. Justice Alito in that decision says that as long as there's equal openness to the polls, then we don't have to worry as much about disparate impact. That essentially puts voting rights advocates and civil rights advocates everywhere in the position to have to demonstrate intent, which is an impossible standard. So not only now are we working to fix what the Supreme Court gutted in Shelby versus Holder, now some reparative work has to be done to also ensure that there are Section 2 protections now. So yes, protests are important, but let me tell you, the most important thing for Joe Manchin to understand is he can name a compromise, the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, if he wants to, but if that thing does not look like what John Lewis would stand for, I tell him he should put some respect on his name and ensure he does not do that. It has to be in word and deed. It has to ensure that the intentions and the impact are protected. And so the protests are the beginning, but it's time for the House to step up and say, look, we passed this bill now twice. It's time for you all to meet us in the middle. And if it requires an exception via filibuster, so be it. But we do not need to go backwards. And that's where it looks like we are. Even the fact that Kamala would have to call out Fannie Lou Hamer and Ida B. Wells on her birthday. And tell these women, Mel, I love you. I love the fact that you all were willing to risk your lives and your health and opportunity to stand in the Senate and protest. But the fact that you have to do that in 2021 is a huge problem. And that's where we need to start.
I echo that. Melanie, please go ahead.
I agree. We were talking about, you had people like Cora Berry who stepped up to, and Barbara Skinner, some of our seasoned sisters saying, I can't believe we're here. But we are. So we said we have to step up. I cannot believe we're doggone here. And so, I had put up my organizing protest, but I've been in protest, but I said, hey, this one had to step up and do what I need to do with my sisters that were also a part of what we were doing this week. And so we're going to keep pushing. We have no choice. And when you know a situation is as bad as it is, because when you can think that it's okay to say you're going to shelve the voting rights because you don't have the votes, and that's how we're going to just say that's not on our watch, as Susan Taylor always says, not on our watch. We have to all step up and challenge. And because the reality is we don't have a choice but to fight.
Yeah.
We have to win this battle. And I'm not going to say we're going to win it tomorrow, but it better be the day after tomorrow, or we're going to look at a country, and I've heard both of you all so many times, that is not going to be, it will be one party rule. And for us, because it's not even also, we shared, it's not just about Black women. Of course it's about Black folks, but the reality is it's about all Americans at the end of the day. And when they come for us, they're going to come for you. That's a fact. And so for us, we know history is a great teacher. So we're going to do what we're going to continue to do. We're going to push. And I do believe that I have hope that folks will do the right thing, but we have to push them and make them. And we got a long way to go, and we don't have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah. All right.
And
we don't.
Tiff, go ahead.
Well, we're out of time, Angela, but really quick, 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, really quick. I'll tell you quick. This isn't just a problem at the United States Capitol. It's a problem in at least 48 states throughout this country. Almost 400 bills have been introduced by Republicans. And again, I would say to the Democrats, it's not just incumbent upon the Republicans to push, it's incumbent upon the Democrats to push on every level at the municipal, state, and federal level. So it's time to fight.
Yeah, and this should not really fall on Black women's shoulders yet again to save this country from itself. Melanie Campbell and Angela Rye, thank you so much for that pointed conversation.